Well, welcome back to Where in the World is Michael Cooper. You've now made a little bit of a European vacation, right?
I have.
You've gone to Gourmet Pizzeria, which is a little bit of Italy for us. So let's talk about Gourmet Pizzeria. What kind of restaurant is it?
Well, Gourmet Pizzeria, if you don't know where Gourmet Pizzeria is, it's a little bit hard to find. There's not actually a sign out front. There's writing on the window, but it's in a new strip mall over on Eastern, just right down from the Moore High School, almost to the Silverleaf Shopping Center. And but I'll tell you, it is a well-kept secret because it is phenomenal. I love Italian food, and I used to go to a place called Sammy's Pizza. It's not in business anymore. It's not around anymore, and they used to make the best calzone that ever. And if you don't know what calzone is, basically take a pizza crust or the back crust of your pizza and just shove it full of meat, cheese, onions, pepper, whatever you want in there, and then it cooks. And it's like a pie almost. It's like a meat pie almost. And I just love them. They're my favorite Italian food. And I never thought I'd find somebody I'd say was better than Sammy's. This is better than Sammy's. So
now, as I understand, the family that owns Gourmet Pizzeria, they actually hail back to ultimately to Italy.
Yes.
Is where their line comes from, and they have all these recipes that have been handed down from generations, from great grandma that lived there in Sicily somewhere or wherever in Italy, and they pass them down, and now they make that stuff here and more.
Oh, definitely. And we started out, we had kind of some little bread twist. And actually, Brent was there with me. Brent actually partook this time with me. And they're like garlic bread almost, but they're kind of twisted up and they're kind of in an olive oil. And then you and your family had a gourmet pizza, which is basically a pizza you just make to your specifications, the thin crust. Oh, it's just, I love talking about it. And then I, of course, had the calzone, which I couldn't imagine. I know it's hard to imagine, but I could not eat it all. It was so good. And I got a small. One of the things too is a normal large pizza is like 16 inches round. He makes all of his 18 inches. So everything is big, hearty, and it wasn't one of those things where you order a pizza and 5 minutes later it's coming out. You knew that your pizza was made from scratch. You had to wait a little bit to get it, but when it came, it was phenomenal.
Now, I've actually been to Gourmet Pizzeria there in the back, where they make things, and the husband and wife team do all the preparation work, and they actually make that dough from scratch back there. They're not pulling in a bunch of dough frozen or anything. I mean, they mix the yeast, they put it all together, they do everything, roll it out, make the pizzas fresh. So the dough that you actually have on your pizza is handmade dough that they've made there in their little kitchen and put it all together. I mean, you just can't beat that. You can't beat that handmade fresh taste that you get.
And I don't know if you can get any of that. Moore's got a lot of pizza places, the kind of the chain type pizza places, but this is definitely a different experience. It's a family experience. I think they do have a lunch buffet that they have. I've been to the lunch buffet before, but I would definitely recommend it. A very good place. Actually, the owner was the one, and you can definitely tell me he has an Italian dialect, an Italian accent, and he actually served us, made sure everything was good, and we got to talk to him. A wonderful, wonderful guy. Really loves his family and is helping his family out. And so go by and see him. It's a wonderful place, and I promise you, you will enjoy your time there.
Now, let me just ask you real quick about the food again. We talked about the calzone. You had a very large calzone that was stuffed with meat.
Well, it was large, but I ordered a small. If I ordered a large, I'd still be eating it.
Now, what kind of meat exactly was in there, and what did they put inside of it specifically?
Well, now there's specific ones that you can order. I ordered what they call a gourmet calzone, which basically is like a supreme or a loaded or whatever you want to call it. It had pepperoni and Italian sausage and beef and all the kind of Italian meats that you think of, and then it had cheese and onions and peppers, because I like it all. Black olives, I think. But you can get just a cheese calzone if you want. You can really get it tailor-made to whatever you want. That's what's neat about the gourmet pizza. Now, like I said, on their menu, they have, ones that are maybe favorites or, that they have the recipes for, but then they can pretty much put anything you want in there.
Because they're making it right there. They're not getting it out of a freezer and it's all been pre-made and they just put it in the oven or something.
Absolutely.
He's like making that dough that goes around it.
It is handmade.
All right, so you can get the calzones, you can get pizzas there. They have gelato too, if I'm not mistaken.
Gelato, they have gyros. Sandwiches. You can get Italian sandwiches. It's basically, an Italian restaurant. I don't even want to call it, we've kind of been talking here. You can call it a pizzeria. You can get a lot more than pizza there. So.
Right. All right, so we've now covered a little bit of Europe on your tour, and I think we're going to do your next restaurant that you'll be going to is also a European stop, and that's in Germany.
That's right.
We're going to go from the boot on up to Germany and do a little visit there to Royal Bavaria. So that's our next stop on the show. Make sure to check us out on that.
Achtung, we'll see you then.